So for today, we are going to discuss another major topic or another major concept by Benjamin, and the name of the concept is aura. So the Walter Benjamin belonged to a particular school, and it is called a Frankfurt School. Okay, that is related to somewhere with cultural studies. Let's talk about it. So the Frankfurt School of Critical Theory originated from the Institute for Social Research, founded in 1923 at the University of Frankfurt, Germany. So there are many major writers that are associated with the school. For instance, Max Horkheimer, Theodor Adorno, and after that Herbert Marcuse analyzed how mass media serves as a tool for ideological control, promoting dominant ideologies and suppressing dissenting voices. So still they are all focusing on the mass media. So as we just discussed it earlier in my lectures, that how the role of industrialization is very crucial if you talk about mass media. They explored how media shapes public consciousness, often aligning with corporate and state interests, thereby limiting democratic discourses or discourse. Okay, let's go further. So Max Horkheimer, Theodor Adorno, Herbert Marcuse, Walter Benjamin, or Erich Fromm, and Jürgen Habermas. These are most important theorists that belong to this particular set of group. Okay. So what are some major works? You can see Dialect of Alignment by Max Horkheimer and Theodor W. Adorno. Okay, Dialect of Alignment is some of major works of the school. And after that, One Dimensional Man by Herbert Marcuse, another one. After that, Minima Moralia by Theodor W. Adorno. So here is the history of that particular group, and these are some famous work of Frankfurt School. So let's talk about their tendency or their major concepts. Let's go further. So the term, there is a particular term that is propounded by this set of school, and the name of the term is culture industry, to describe how mass-produced culture goods like films, radio programs, and magazines are used to manipulate society into passivity. It means here the mass media is going to construct the reality, but you can see on the other side there is a passive person. Who is that? That is listener, receiver. Okay, he is not going to take or give any kind of feedback, but he is just a more of passive listener. Okay, so critical theory, central to the Frankfurt School, is the concept of critical theory, which aims to critique and change society by examining the underlying power structures. Okay, underlying power structures and ideology that shape human behavior and social institutions. So another one, we can see some traces of Michel Foucault discourse, power plus knowledge or biopower. Okay, so here is another thing that is inspired by Michel Foucault's work. And let's go further. So this method emphasizes the dynamic and interconnected nature of social phenomena, aiming to uncover the underlying forces that drive societal change. For instance, if you talk about military schools, what they are selling, they are selling a discourse. Okay, they are practicing a discourse. Okay, according to Foucault, we are all people are part of the discourse. Okay, what he call us docile bodies. Okay, someone who follows the discourse. So here is the famous book Dialect of Alignment by Max Horkheimer and Theodor W. Adorno. Let's go further. So let's talk about the main concept. What is aura of the art by Walter Benjamin? Let's talk about it. Walter Benjamin is known for his famous essay, The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction, that was published in 1935, examined how mass production affects the authenticity and aura of the art. Okay, again you can see some traces of hyperreality, or so to say copy of the copy. Okay, a concept by none other than Jean Baudrillard. The aura of art, Benjamin introduced the concept of the aura, okay, referring to the unique presence and authenticity of an artwork tied to its original context. Okay, he argues that mechanical reproduction diminishes this aura as copies lack the original's singularity and historical context. Okay, so it's simply he is talking about that when we copy a original thing or make a copy of an original thing, it means the copy that original thing we copied, okay, the copy of that original thing just lost that aura, okay, lost that aura, lost its authenticity, we could say. Okay, let's go further. So aura means special feeling of the original. Benjamin says that original art has a special feeling or aura because it's one of a kind and has a unique history. So okay, there is only one original thing, there is only one original art or a text. Okay, so when we copy art using machines like photos or films, that special feeling is lost because anyone can see or own a copy. Okay, so copy of the copy, it means when we suppose okay, we can see some traces of simulacra. In simulation we have the copy of the copy, but what happened in simulacra when we treat that copy as a real thing or as the original text or art? This is aura, when he lost his authenticity. Okay, when original thing lost its authenticity. Benjamin's essay highlights how technological advancements have transformed art from a unique ritualistic object to a mass-produced medium with broader social and political implications. Okay, so he said, just focusing on one thing, that after that copy of the copy, that authentic text that is no more authentic right now, has used for some sort of political propagandas. Okay, mechanical reproduction allows art to be copied and distributed widely, leading to a loss of the original's unique presence. Okay, it means that copy just lost that unique presence, originality, you could say. Reproductions lack the history and context of the original, diminishing their aura. So we could take the example of one picture. As you all know that this is the picture of a painting of Mona Lisa. Okay, portrayed by none other than Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, so here the painting is very famous for its unique style or her unique smile. Okay, so suppose you are in the museum somewhere and you see Mona Lisa there, and someone take the picture of that photo. Okay, and the picture of that photo is symbolizes that it's a copy. Okay, okay, when you are there, you are seeing that picture or painting in front of you. It means you are in a divine place. Okay, or you are feeling the divinity. Okay, something special. Okay, but when you got that or received that copy of the copy, it means that lacks the originality. It's not original. Okay, so here Walter Benjamin just define or elaborate that it is divided into two parts. Why these original pics or why this original art is used for. For instance, ritualistic purpose. Before modern technology, art was often made for rituals, not just for decoration or entertainment. For example, religious paintings in churches. We can see many we see many historical places where we see some sculptures also. Okay, so that sculpture has their own history, their own authenticity, we could say. Statues used in temple worship. Okay, and after that, sacred symbols carved into ancient walls. Okay, after that, masks used in cultural ceremonies. Okay, and after that, these artworks had a spiritual or cultural meanings, and they were not meant for everyone to casually look at. Only certain people at certain times in sacred places. Okay, he's talking about priests and other things, that they are the only people who can access all these things. Okay, when you talk about a particular temple or anything, they can access or avail all these things in ritualistic matters or ritualistic purposes. Okay, so this is a ritualistic purpose. Let's go further, and we have exhibitionist purpose. Example of exhibitionist art is a painting displayed in a gallery for public viewing. For instance, we could take the example of Mona Lisa, a photograph shared on social media. Okay, a movie shown to millions of people, theater or online. So we can take the example of Mona Lisa, how she's on the wall on a particular museum. Okay, where people can saw her or see her, that beautiful or wonderful painting. Okay, so here they are just focusing on one thing. They are focusing on social media. Okay, a photograph shared on social media, or a movie shown to millions of people in theaters or online. So there is a one fact I just want to mention here, that Walter Benjamin is not against mass media. Okay, totally he's not against mass media, but there is a one point he just mentioned in his books or his works, that before that, if we talk about other centuries, previous centuries, that only people who belong to elite class can consume these kind of things. For instance, they can consume art. Okay, if you have money, if you have that class, elite class, then you can go for the, these kind of fetching, or because adorable sculpture. Okay, you could see that if you belong to a high class or elite class. But if you belong to a lower class, it is almost impossible to see all this beautiful stuff. So right now he's just focusing on one thing, that right now with the help of social media, lower class or lower people, or middle class we could say, also consume all these things. So this is the main factor, this is the main fact. So this is our Walter Benjamin, so belong to the Frankfurt School. So thank you very much.